Hello! Happy full moon in Cancer. In this video, I want to discuss what this full moon is all about and how you can work with it to the best of your ability to make the most of this moon and feel great. And my name is Latoya from Emerald Astrology. I love to talk about the moon. I'm an intuitive astrologer. And yeah, I'm just really super excited to share with you about this full moon experience. So thank you for showing up and showing up for yourself. Let's dig right on in. So the full moon is in Cancer, 27 degrees, 51 minutes, and it's going to happen on Monday, January 17th at 5:48 p.m. Central. So do your time zone thing. Full moons are all about the culmination of an area of our life that Cancer rules, and your opportunity to be able to celebrate what you've accomplished or dodged and feel good about yourself. There's a lot to learn with full moons. It can be a very heightened emotional, experience, as we all know that full moons can be. But with that, there is something to glean from it and under a deeper understanding of ourselves and what our needs actually are and how we can best serve them. So, yes, with this full moon, it's a great opportunity. Any full moon in general is a great opportunity to release what doesn't work or support you in this new discovery of what it means, what this full moon, experience mean to you. So, if it doesn't support what you're trying to create, it's a great time to let it go. If you're trying to create more emotional security, financial security or, relationships or, your creative abilities, understanding of yourself or spiritual practice, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, things will come up and show what actually are not in alignment to that, and offers you an opportunity to let those things go in a graceful, loving manner, if needed. Now, let me also say that it's great to focus on one thing with these full moon experiences, because there's a lot that can happen all at once sometimes, depending on your chart, and what personal planets you have in Cancer. So there could be a lot that's just been being highlighted or aspected to. So just do your best to focus on one thing, because that's what actually help you achieve the greater purpose that you're trying to attain. So just be aware of that. And yeah, so you just really want to be aware, just take a look at your birth chart and see what house Cancer rules, and that will show what this full moon, the themes of what this full moon is all about for you. So Cancer, keywords are like nurture. It's very protective sign. It's nostalgic. It's the archetype of the sign is the mother, and it's a cardinal water sign. So it's very, it has a very intuitive nature, and it's very initiative. It wants to start things. It wants to get things going. Um, and with this energy, we might, feel this. And it's also like towards the tail end of Cancer. So maybe it's like this energy to just wrap things up, as soon as possible in a very intuitive manner. So not necessarily like a push and go at it like a cardinal, cardinal fire sign like Aries. This is more of a water sign. So it's being much more wanting to take action, but very receptive in how it should be done based off of what's around in the environment. So you might be taking this approach as well. The ruler of this moon is the moon. Cancer is ruled by the moon. And so what this means is that we will have a very direct experience with our emotions. It's nothing is going to restrict it or warp it or manipulate it. It's very straight to the point. We're going to have our feelings felt in whatever area of our lives that Cancer rules. So this can be pretty, it can be tough. Like for me, I have Cancer, really my 12th house. I'm a Leo rising person. So, a lot of stuff of like past lives and thing, tendencies of self-sabotage and self-undoing and but yeah, also connection to divinity, spirituality, connection to the collective, is also there as well. So that area of my life is very challenging, especially with me being a very action-oriented person. Having to be receptive and letting things go is very difficult most times for me. So maybe you'll have that experience with Cancer, but it's the opportunity to open up to that receptivity and um, what needs to be felt, and therefore propel you forward in a more um, better direction. So emotions are easily accessible right now, and it's not hidden behind any obligations, any status, any expectations of others. It's just like, this is what I feel. This is where I'm at, based off of my experience and environment and people that are surrounding me, because it's water. So water picks up anything and everything, and eventually it'll clear itself out. But sometimes that takes time. If you are surrounded by negative people, negative things, negative situations, that's where you're going to pick up, and that's where you're going to be feeling. So we'll talk more about that later in the video, but getting more into the aspects of this full moon. So the moon will trine the south node, will apply a trine to the south node. So moon being the emotional nature, the intuitive nature, that's the signification. To the south node, South Node is about like past life actions and that are affecting the present moment. And so, with it being a trine aspect or application, this can be a very helpful, beneficial thing for us. Maybe there's an easy opportunity to integrate with past experiences or deeper understandings of past actions that are now influencing the present moment and how we can change it. So that's where we move into that moon sextile the north node, where destiny moving forward will have that more creative energy to do so, because we have an easy, deeper understanding of where we come from, south node to where we're going, north node. So that's exciting. That's really good. And the moon also sextiles Ceres, and Ceres is the caretaker asteroid, or much more sort of like the mother archetype as well. It's more like a higher octave than the moon. And so I just see this as like, be your own mother. So really addressing your abilities to mother yourself. Maybe it's analyzing, reflecting, having that nostalgic moment of like how your mother nurtured you whenever you weren't feeling well. How could you do that for yourself? And basically, yeah, just mother yourself so that you are feeling well and strong and feeling protected and able to create and move forward into a greater, opportunities that are moving forward into the year. And so with that sextile to Ceres, we are having that ability to do that for ourselves, and in a very physical way, right? So nutritious foods, eating whole foods, not necessarily eating so much junk food or foods that are not really like directly from the earth. And so Ceres is all about, food straight from the earth, and be able to work with it in ways that actually nourishes the body. And so having this harmonious aspect to the moon really amplifies that need for us to do that. So really looking at how can you keep your body well. And for me personally, I do this by because I have a very busy week. And I find that cooking is really hard for me in the week. But I got a little more creative. I actually considered people's advice on meal prepping on the weekend. So Sundays are my days where I meal prep and really make all my meals for the week, so that I don't have to think about, what am I going to eat and then stress out about it and then eat junk food, because that's usually is my tendency to do. So just finding creative ways to really nourish your body, even though it's, maybe you're coming from the field of microwaving your food is not really ideal, or eating leftovers is not ideal. Yes, that's true, but we are working towards building to a more ideal future, which is that North Node. That could be very uncomfortable because we've never been there before, but doing the best that you can in the moment for yourself, for your body, so that you are well and your mind is well, and you're not falling into the negativity that is maybe surrounding you in this moment of your life. And so keeping your body strong, feeding it nutritious food is really important. And I think this aspect to series really highlights that. So getting really creative and figuring out how could you uh, nourish yourself with whole foods is really important. Maybe you're gonna have to get these food boxes that you can get ordered to your house. Just getting really creative and finding ways of doing that so that you don't just eat junk food and then get sick, and then you're not really effective in moving forward. So, of course, with the moon is in opposition to the sun, and that just highlights emotional interests, emotional and your interests. What am I saying? Your emotions and your interests may be at odds, right? So there is this great tension, this conflict, and um, finding the balance of the two. They're just kind of like extreme expressions of each other, and which shows an opportunity to reconcile that and find balance. So this could really easily appear in a relationship, because it is that relationship dynamic. It's you and the other. So you might see that when interacting with other people, how their interests and your emotions may be at odd, or your ideas and interests may be at odds in someone else's feelings. And having to be able to negotiate and find the balance that works for you both is really important with this moon experience. And the only way I've been able to do that is really getting clear on how and what it is that you feel, and what it is that you actually need, and being willing to provide those needs to yourself, and not expect it from other people. So other people can be involved with you and like fulfilling those needs, but you don't really necessarily need them to do that. So having to find that balance of like, hey, do you want to be involved in this, and fulfilling my needs, and I can fulfill yours, or are we doing this on our own? This is what's coming up to me right now. So having that discussion is really important, whoever that comes to mind to you. Moon is also in opposition to Pluto, because Pluto, actually, the sun is conjunct Pluto, separating from Pluto, but still there. And this can bring out some really intense emotions, right? Pluto, whatever Pluto touches, it intensifies. And so, with it being in opposition, maybe that other person's really feeling really have really intense interest or ideas that are really in opposition to what you're feeling is right for you. So, finding that struggle, kind of that struggle, finding that balance for each other, and making sure that your needs are met, what their needs are met, and not overpowering each other. Pluto talks about power struggles, and trying to get one up on the other so that they feel secure. And essentially, you both are trying to seek security, just going at it in different ways. So being aware of that just goes back to, what is it that you need? What is it that makes you feel safe? What makes you feel strong? What makes you feel like you're just getting your needs met? And not depending on someone else to do that for you, and falling into these power struggles because you feel like you can't get those needs met and you think someone else could do that. So it just leaves you vulnerable in that way. And, this full moon can really show that. And so, the sun and Pluto is in Capricorn. So if you want to look at that area of your life, that's something to really be just kind of, just keep your awareness on. And the moon also, Juno is also conjunct Pluto as well. She is, let's see. Okay, so she's applying in a conjunction, applying an aspect to Pluto. Um, she's 24 degrees in Pluto, Capricorn. So yeah, so I mean, this is like Juno's all about marriage and relationships and power. So it's kind of like another like exclamation point to this. That need to reconcile and be honest about what it is that you need. If you follow, mythology or read about mythology, just read up about Zeus and Hera. Maybe I'm not getting these two mixed up. Make sure Hera, the goddess. Yeah, so Hera, yeah, Greek. Okay, so yeah, Hera and Zeus. You want to just read up on that. Hera had a hell of a time being in marriage in relations to Zeus because he just did what he wanted, and she was extremely committed to this guy, and he just did not respect her wishes ever. Did all kinds of cheating of all sorts and expected her loyalty the whole time. It's awful. So that's the one of the mythologies. I think that's the only one I found so far about Hera and Zeus, and she becomes this like crazy lady that just gone after to all of his mistresses and went after the children of them and all this. So she was very upset, very angry, and so having this opposition to this asteroid can really highlight maybe that feelings of you are being cheated on, or you're not getting your needs met. You ask for, you need this thing and you're not getting it. And, might that be an opposition, maybe manifest in a relationship, maybe the other feels that way with you, or you feel that way with them, or you both simultaneously feel this way and therefore need to communicate and share, hey, I am feeling this way and it's a lot, but we gotta work this out if we're going to be in this relationship. And figuring out what our needs are, and yeah, just not leaving each other to be hurt. So that's what I see right now with the full moon, our full moon experience. It's a lot, but it's the next step for our evolution. So what can you do to make the most of this moon experience? So I pretty much looked in my book. I love this book, The Art of Psychic Protection. I've showed this to y'all before by Judy Hall. Flipped it open, kind of doing an intuitive thing this time, and flipped to basically a page that talked about protecting your space, so protecting your boundaries. And that is, just think of your mother. She was maybe your mom was this type. There's all types of mothers. Some that were just like always gone and working, but the stereotypical mother, I should say, is the one that's like always cleaning, making sure everyone has food on the table, or getting fed, taken care of. She's the nurse. She's the caretaker of all things of emotions and physical need and cleaning and keeping the home in order. So I saw this as like, oh, okay, we probably need a really deep cleanse and our space and our energetic bodies and our physical bodies as well. Cancer is all about containers and the home in particular. The fourth house, Cancer has similar significations there. So cleansing the space and making sure your boundaries are set. So literally cleaning your house. If you haven't been on top of it, this will be a really good time to kind of have that fresh feel and keeping down the germs, right? So that's marking your boundaries in that way. Another way is working with crystals. So bloodstone is a great stone, helps with emotional awareness and protection. I love this stone. Big stones are really good to like soak up, negative energy, but you want to be on top of it with clearing it. Um, Quartz is another one. So it's a very cleansing, regenerating stone or regenerative stone. And then obsidian is a really good protective grounding stone as well. So I have an arrowhead one, but these are good crystals to work with working with crystals, you want to make sure that you set your intentions with them. Maybe do a little bit more research about what their meanings are, and or just literally ask. Maybe you're much more aware of your intuitive abilities, and you can ask the crystal what it is that you need help with, or just like your guides, and then coin that to your crystal. And so every time you see it, you know that work is getting done because it all starts with the mind. Another thing that you can do with this full moon experience is taking a shower. So when you shower, visualize all the negativity and all of the things that you're concerned about, you're worried about, that's really weakening your immune system, letting it wash over your body with the running water and down into the drain. And so you're just seeing that being washed off your body and being returned to the center of the earth. So you can visualize that, or obviously, with our water system, at least for me, it's going to the power plant. So just like imagine, not the power plant, the water treatment plant. And so just imagine, that energy, that negativity energy, all that gunk that's been on the body, in the emotional, energetic body, is being transmuted as well into the water treatment plant. So that also will help as well. Because with Pluto too, there is this need for transmutation. So there would be either an expression could be a power struggle, and that would be a very negative experience, to the point where it could be overpowering. But it is also, if you have the eyes to see, an opportunity for transformation. And so this is a good way to start it off, getting used to like how to transmute a situation is by visualizing, this water running over your body and imagining each gunk and whatever that has been pulled from your body through the water is being transmuted into something that's actually very useful. Another thing that you could do is visualize, if you're meditating, your whole body is being consumed by fire. So obviously you're not doing this literally, you're visualizing it. And this also will help with transmutation and not leave your negative energy and feelings and thoughts out into like your psychic energetic space. So doing that regularly would be helpful as well. Smudging, I lean more towards like smudging my space because I like the smell of it too. So smudging your room and open up the windows so the energy can be moved out. Imagine it being transmuted and into positive energy and positive vibrations that are helpful for the collective as well. So letting that, be cleared out is also really important. So being very, very thorough in your cleansing routine is really helpful for this moon, because Cancer is really sensitive, and even though they may not want to admit it, they're very sensitive to the energetic, emotional atmosphere, that's present. So being aware of that, opening that up to your your awareness is really will be really helpful in cleansing your space so that it stays light and feels good. And even though you might be going through some stuff with relationships, you're just allowing that energy to flow out, and just know that it's part of the transmutation process so that you can get what it is that you need. Yeah, so Another thing, sage, Palo Santo, or crystal sprays. If you're local in like Jackson, Texas area, um, go to Treasure Chest. That's a great shop for if you're needing some metaphysical stuff. We have all kinds of stuff there for you. Or, if you're not local, your metaphysical shop. Or online. There's all kinds of stuff online that you can check out. Amazon, Etsy. I love all those things. All the places. But I like to support local businesses. So if you could, definitely do that so you can keep your local economy alive and everyone is thriving and living their dream. And therefore, you are more likely to live your own dream. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you gained some golden nuggets, at least one. Remember to be kind to yourself. Remember to pay attention to your emotions, your energetic body, because it's going to be triggered. It's going to be heightened, but that's okay because that's just giving an opportunity to clear things out and be able to hold more space for yourself and eventually for others. So if you're wanting a more in-depth reading that is more specific to your birth chart, I have my moon readings available that you could check out with the link below, button below. That is there for you. You can check that out and see if that resonates. That's where we can talk about, where the moon is highlighting for you, and I'll pull some cards out that can help you dig deeper into the work that needs to be done that maybe this reading, this video has not touched upon. So if you're feeling like you need a little bit more, that is there for you. But other than that, I hope you have a great full moon in Cancer experience. Bye.